So the third key, of course, is going to be emotion. You said this is emotion from beginning to end. And so you have to keep it going nonstop. If you've ever seen those swim noodles, those tubes, think of that as like an emotional stick. And so your job from the moment you grab our attention till you demand that we take action right here, right now, you are going to be beating us with this stick. Don't pause, because if you stop and try to give us logical reasons, then we're going to, as soon as the beating stops, we're going to be out the door. And so from beginning to end, just nonstop, just beat us, beat us, beat us, beat us, beat us. So 7 to 9 minutes later, when you get to the end, you say, so I want you all to donate money. We're like handing you our wallet, and we're like, yes, please, just take it. Just stop beating me, right? So it's emotion from beginning to end. There is no room for logic in this type of a speech. And since you can only do 3 things before it's no longer funny, the fourth key to this type of speech is to have one clear action. And so your organization, let's say, Sense Security, we need volunteers, we need money, we need items that we can auction off at our annual fundraiser. We need lots of things. But when you're giving a speech like this, you need to have one clear action and one clear action only, and only focus on that thing. Because if you get to the end and you say, so I want you to donate money, I want you to volunteer, or I want you to donate an item that we can auction off, when you give us options, implied in that is the option to do nothing. And what option are we going to choose 99.9% of the time? To do nothing. And so really what you're going to do is right from the beginning, you're going to tell us the one thing you need. You get to pick whatever one you want. So if you're asking us for money, just focus on money. So you're going to paint us into this corner. So by the time you get to the end and you demand action, there's really only one choice. We either give you what you are asking, give you money, or you're an asshole. Those are the only 2 options. So one clear action only. Tell us what that action is right up front and keep hammering it over and over again, because that's the next thing, which is repeat, repeat, repeat. And so do not surprise us at the end. I think this is kind of almost like a stop action video. If you are trying to get us off our butts and doing something, like if you want us to donate money or do any type of activity, we're kind of lethargic and sitting there. And so every time that you repeat the action, say, I want you to get your wallets out and give me money. I want you to get your wallets out and give me money. I want you to get your wallets out and give me money. Each time you say that, you can almost think of it as, I want you to get your wallets out. We start to reach back and reach for our wallet. Then you repeat it again when maybe our hand starts to touch our wallet, and then by the third time you touch it, we've got our hand on our wallet. So when you say so I want you all to get your wallets out and donate money at the end, when you actually ask for the action, our hand is on our wallet. We just have to go, here, take it. Just stop hitting me. So you have to keep repeating it, because each time you repeat it, we get one step closer to actually taking the action. If you wait until the very end, we may be compelled, like, oh, wow, that was intense. But if we're still sitting in our, normal position, we haven't started to move yet. When you get to the end and you're like, so I want you all to get your wallets out and, give me money. And we're like, it's too much work. So you have to get us moving during your speech. If you wait till the very end, there's too much inertia. We will not actually do anything. And the last one is you need to make sure that this is appropriate for your audience. We used to do this with Sense of Security, where we got on to the circuit. There are, it's a stereotype, but it's kind of true. The country clubs and places like that where people have lots of money, these typically women will have these luncheons where they'll have organizations like us come in and talk about the valuable work that we do around the community, and then they'll write us a check. When we first started doing it, we'd go out and we essentially did a problem solution speech. And we had envelopes that we'd hand out. The flap, you could just, if you didn't want to do a check, you could write your credit card number, put that inside, and send it back to us. And still, we hardly got any of those back. And so we're like, are these people not resonating with our message or what? And what we discovered was that the message was resonating, but we weren't asking for action right here, right now. And so we decided to go in and we did this heavy-handed Monroe's Motivated Sequence type of speech where we walked in and we said, I need a check from $1,000 from each one of you. Because we knew these people could afford to write you a check for $1,000. But we were right up front. I mean, you had a check from $1,000 from each and every one of you. And then you would go through the speeches just exactly like we talked about. You tell the before story, you tell the after story, you get these women feeling really sad, and you get to the end, and you say, so I want you all to get your checkbooks out and write me a check for $1,000. And then you stand there. And that's the hardest part, is you stand there until somebody finally will reach in, down, get their bag or whatever, and get out their checkbook. And it's amazing what will happen, because there are people who sit there and it's like, well, if Mary's going to write a check for $1,000, I'm going to write a check for $10,000. And we did. We got checks for $10,000. So if you know your audience, it's appropriate to go in and ask for this, right? But now let's say if I walked into this class and said, okay, so I want you all to give me a check for $1,000. I go through, I give you, Julie's story, Nancy's story, get to the end, you're all in tears, and I say, so I want you all to give me a check for $1,000 or you're an asshole. Who's going to give me a check? Nobody, because you don't have the money. And so are you going to sit there thinking, oh my gosh, I'm an asshole? No, you're going to flip that around, because you can't live with yourself that way, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to flip that around and you're going to make me the asshole for asking. How dare you come into this classroom, demand that I, a broke college student, give you $1,000? What a jerk, right? This sense of security, it must be a total scam. I'm going to get on Twitter and Instagram, whatever. I'm going to bash this company because it's obviously they're a bunch of losers, whatever. So it could come back and bite you. So this is not something that you would normally do. To this classroom, I would give you the problem solution speech. I could even hand out the little envelopes, and maybe you can send in $5, or maybe you hand it to somebody that can give some money or something like that, and I'm comfortable with that. But for this assignment, we are going to assume that whatever you are asking for, we have it. So feel free to ask us for money, because we're not going to be able to donate it to you anyway, because we're not going to be in class. But we got all the money in the world, ask us for money. We got all the time in the world, ask us to donate. We got all the blood in the world, so if you want us to donate blood, whatever it is you want to ask for, pretend that we have it. So feel comfortable asking for whatever it is you want. Just know that once you get to the end and you demand that we take action, that's when your speech ends. And we won't feel bad for not actually giving it to you, because that's not part of the assignment.